Is he? I don't know if he can.
I'm gonna put a bookmark in that for right now.
All right, game 1, PS2. I normally don't advise anyone letting Ryan go PS2 for free, but if there's anyone that I would trust to be okay with it, it's Super Dan.
Yeah. I agree. We'll see what happens. I think for the most part, Dan just sort of like feels out PS2 for the start. It doesn't really depend. It doesn't really matter what he's going against, and then he'll start like choosing like maybe triplats once he feels the matchup, once he feels out how Ravenking's playing today, what he's doing, and then he'll probably go from there.
These two are both playing really slow this game. This is like slow, methodical.
Everything in my brain tells me Mario just gets wally-whopped in this set too. Like
in my mind, it's I feel as though it would be comparable to Smash 4 Cloud's matchup with Mario, and Cloud won that like 55-45.
It's been so long. I think you're right.
Well, I'm positive of that because one time I said it was even, and then Dan messaged me, and he was like, "Hey, you said this was even on commentary, and it's not." And I appreciate that. You know, do that if I'm wrong, because that's how us commentators learn. So from then on out, I knew that was a winning matchup for Cloud. But I would compare it a lot because Cloud relied heavily on like his neutral in Smash 4 to space. Ravenking does a lot of that here. That's
rode that Grand Rapids water slide all the way to the second platform.
The slush gusher, baby.
But yeah, you're right. It is a lot of like the same thing Cloud sort of did in PS4. Ravenking kind of does with the spacing with his sword. It's a lot of like you know what Ravenking is going to do at all times. It's just trying to get in when his sword isn't currently a hitbox problem. Backer is going to take first stock. Dan sitting at 83, not like a huge deal in percentage, but definitely not safe.
One nair and he's in trouble. He's in trouble. Look at the spacing coming out from Ravenking.
And
yep, there it is. He's in trouble.
Equal parts.
Oh, down tilts.
For Dan though. I would say that Dan really, after playing Ravenking so many times, sort of has a feel for when Ravenking sort of like likes to go for things he shouldn't, when finding like little holes in his game that allows Dan to get in. That right there was an easy counter for Dan.
I think Ravenking messed up the turnaround.
I'd have to imagine. Either that or he really misjudged the spacing on the ether.
Just today. Oh, wow.
Gotta be careful of that. Yeah, this is one of those matchups where if he doesn't ether exactly at one small point near ledge, he's gonna get blown away by Flood.
Yeah. Just earlier today, Ravenking was telling me that the only person he feared. Oh, wow. DI mix up. The only person he feared in all of Chicago was Ned. He was like, not even Frosty, not even Dan. He said that, but then Frosty won today. But Frosty can win any day. Frosty can win an S tier. No real warm-up.
Yeah. Like yeah.
Sometimes Frosty's just the best player in the world. It's crazy.
Like, I don't think scare tactics are certainly something you can use and should be afraid of in some certain matchups when it comes to the player you're going against, but other times you just get beat even if you're not afraid of someone. Like, they just outplay you that day. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm not afraid of Saris.
However, that Falcon,
he will make me look stupid.
He scares me. Oh, well. All right, a little fist pump.
Is that a TF2 reference? Huh? Is that a TF2 reference?
Yeah, that was a TF2 reference. But that thing scares me.
I was talking about it with Trainer Red on the way here. The only character that would actually have me like pee pants excitement, like there's excitement, but then there's like
if it got into Smash.
If like Scout, if like a TF2 character got into Smash, that's the only thing that would make me freak.
Like pop off.
Yeah, pop off. Him, Steve is close, but nothing compares to like you just hear like, "You wimps suck. I'm batting 1,000." That would be glorious.
Going back to PS2, that's Ravenking's pick, so that makes sense.
And we were talking about it a little bit before the game, but Dan did take it out. He was able to get the W.
Yeah. Well, that's stale now, but it doesn't matter. One more nair will do it.
Thinking about the stage a little bit more in Mario's favor, I guess if I'm Super Dan, and I've played against Ravenking enough times to know sort of how his playstyle is and when he likes to be aggro and when I can find holes in his playstyle, I guess his stage with only 2 platforms and a relatively big neutral is not that bad when I think about it more.
All right, doesn't have a jump. This is actually not great.
Yeah, but he was able to hold that for long enough. The quick draw was able to get him back on stage. Doesn't matter.
Dan just doing some menacing stuff. Dan is in control right now. Yeah.
I would call that in control.
I love like little instances of that where you can just tell that like even though they're technically in the neutral, one of them has like the mental advantage. One of them is fishing, the other one is being fished.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, they were both dead even to the naked eye. They're both kind of in the same position, but just the way Dan was pressuring Ravenking towards ledge basically the entire stock, it was very obvious. And this man DI'd correctly. All right, I expected so, but you never know. It could happen.
Fireball's being spammed. I like the falling up air, trying to catch a jump there. But Dan is just really, really spacing around everything Ryan's trying to do except
I like that. I like that bait, just the hop, and he hasn't really been throwing out any sort of tilts on neutral the entire game, and that you gotta think that Dan probably jumped either that or ran up for like an up smash.
Yeah, that could be. I love that. Anticipated that punish with the grab. Dan safely finally landing back on the stage. Now we're back to neutral.
Down here.
That Narita shield's kind of putting in some mileage here for Dan.
Okay, so he's been using Flood a lot off stage. While Ravenking is below stage and he doesn't have the best position to use Ether, Flood can be really dangerous. However, I think it's sort of getting to the point where if Ravenking has enough height, Flood just sort of leaves Mario in this position where he's using a move that really hasn't done anything for him except that one instance when he could be edgeguard. He could be pressuring Ravenking a little more.
Just kind of feeling each other out. This is actually, I would say Ryan has the mental advantage here.
Well, you could say you rolled right into that nair, got him into an up air. Now just about anything's gonna kill.
All right, there's a little turn of the tides from Dan. Dan's in the slight advantage state now. I love these little nuances of the game, and I love when 2 players are good enough to be able to like watch them unfold. You know what I mean? Like they're playing the game correctly, and I enjoy watching anything that's close to that. Ledge trapping opportunity here from Ravenking. Dan saw right through that.
Yep. Patiently waited. Knew Ravenking was going to try something. Got hit by the back air anyway in the middle of that Pokeball.
That was kind of like a weirdly hit back air.
Yeah.
I feel like most people probably would have gotten hit by that. That was just weirdly spaced. Like a little niche thing, niche matchup thing.
Surprised by the quick draw. I don't know what Dan was planning on shielding there, but I don't think he expected Ravenking to just run into him with a side B. Neutral get-up's going to send him off stage again. He is going to flood. See, that's where, like, so he's been doing that a lot, recharging flood. But now well, he won anyway because he's better than I am.
That's actually, so a habit that Ravenking has is, and I don't know if this is exposing him or not, but he jumps from ledge a lot. And it's a habit that he has. And Dan knew that. I would put the farm in it. Dan knew that it was like a good 60+% chance that was going to be a jump from ledge.
Okay.
And he just tossed out the back air, unavoidable. Ravenking went right into it. Dan read it.
If Ravenking and I met in bracket next Tripoint, and I won because I just nared with Jigglypuff from ledge, would you feel responsible?
Yeah, but I would be happy that you did it because maybe you would stop doing it. And maybe he would learn.
He's like, oh damn, Zach beat me? Holy crap.
I've definitely, like, in friendlies, I've taken stocks off of him. Never games. I've taken stocks off him because I know that he's doing that.
I've beaten Ravenking one time and he was playing Captain Falcon. Alright, now we have switched. We've gone to a different stage, the lovely home of Villager, Smashville.
This is a Ravenking pick, and I agree with this pick.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
You can kind of... I like, mainly on this map, I like the options that you have with quick draw. To be able to fall through the platform or kind of like slide off edge cancel, or it's just adds so much to your recovery that, yeah, see, he's catching him jumping again.
Yeah. But you're right, that's a huge part of his game, especially this set. Ravenking has been using quick draw basically 80% of the time to recover, which you see it a lot. But especially in this matchup where he knows Dan right now is just sort of charging Flood, he can afford to do that. Little quick up air combo.
That's another reason why Smashville is huge on this, because people will stand on that, and if you can get that nair on that, ShamWow shaves like a good 10% off killing there. Turn on up smash, not quite gonna do it. Ike's heavy boy. There he has more options with that quick draw, but catches him jumping there. That was actually really smart from Dan. Yeah, obviously, Ravenking is gonna go for the nair in that situation. Right. Try to get like some form of tech chase, but Dan not having it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
0 to death there.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Just barely wasn't able to grab on the ledge there. That gives Ravenking a huge advantage in this matchup. Now has a whole other stock to play with. One of Ike's more quick options to just sort of throw it every once in a while is down tilt. Hits from pretty far away. It's like frame. What frame is this down tilt? It's like Ike's.
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know why I asked who's. I don't know either of them off the top of their head. Like, oh, Mario's, I know that. No, I don't know either. He's dead.
Ooh, little ladder combo back air. Not quite going to do it.
Ooh, great DI.
Didn't read the roll, but Dan said thank you very much.
Regrab? Ooh, no, he rolled out of that there.
He said, stop jumping,
jump in. Him jumping. He said, give me the loot.
That's pretty scary, huh? You're just minding your own business, trying to save your princess,
and then you die.
Some madman with a nair that shouldn't have been allowed comes out and just steals your cereal.
And then you die.
Die. 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, this song goes in.
Yeah, one of Yoshi's slap tracks. Not a huge fan of Yoshi music, but this one goes in. This is a slapper. Yeah. So, Triplat small stage. This was Super Dan's pick.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me, but that down smash surprised me.
He hasn't been throwing that out a whole lot. One thing I've sort of talked to Ravenking about a long time ago with his play is sometimes he uses the same moves way too much. Really repetitive, sort of forgets to tomahawk grab, sort of forgets to throw out a lot more of his slower tilts, even though they're slow, they're powerful. A couple smash tags here and there to surprise him. All right.
I would mostly agree with what you're saying, but I can't let someone say that without noting how far and how much better he's gotten at that since Smash 4.
That is a huge, that's absolutely true. That was one of Ravenking's things for a while. I think sometimes he finds safety in a lot of that routine that he goes with, and other people pick that apart. And if he can just sort of get used to throwing out a lot of more unexpected shenanigans, I think that could really up his game by quite a bit.
He can take notes from Super Dan on that. Super Dan's options sometimes are just, I mean, not optimal.
Yeah.
But his neutral is so good that he can afford to do those not optimal things sometimes, and they pay off big.
I will note that when Ravenking was going against Frosty, he went for that controversial double jump offstage fair that he missed and died for. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see that.
But that is an example of like creating sort of like an idea in your opponent's head of what you're going to do. Because all mix-ups is it's just conditioning your opponent to never expect an option.
There you go.
And then you do the option. So, I mean, in that regard, it was a great idea. It's just that kind of risking the biscuit for a whole lot of chance.
Right.
But if Ravenking can sort of calm that down, mix up things a little bit more, that won't instantly get him killed. That could help him out quite a bit.
This is real calculated play from Ravenking right now. There was a little bit of circle camping, and by little bit, I mean boy was circle camping. But it resulted in a stock, so I don't know if I can hate too much.
Yeah. When your nair is the size of the stage you're playing on, it's really easy to pressure your opponent near ledge. And then your opponent goes, well, I have to get to neutral at some point, and then this homie says, have you met forward tilt? Yeah, hello.
That's a scary move. I love the patient play here coming out from these two. Gets the whip punish. See how far he can take this. And finds his way out of it.
Yeah.
There's
See,
a tomahawk.
yeah, a little bit more of a tomahawk grab. This is where things he gets scary for Super Dan. Oh, but he just missed that fair. If he got that fair, that could have very easily ended the game with one good edge guard.
Super Dan's disadvantage is so good. He loves sliding through stuff, but oh my god.
It's a lot of damage Ravenking just racked up pretty much out of nowhere. But he has to watch out for one of those Super Dan special surprise up smash attacks.
Yeah, all he's got to do is up smash right now. Just catch him jumping or something.
He's not really going for him, though. He's not really pressuring, conditioning with that. He's more so just making sure Ravenking doesn't hit him there.
There it is.
There it is.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, hit him with a 5 head. That's going to be it. Super Dan's going to take it 3-1.
Dan kind of taking a breath there. I don't know if he expected to win that.
Man, I don't know if this is an appropriate question to ask.
Go ahead.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
You don't have to answer.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite child?
Do I have a favorite child?
Yeah.
Only one of them is a legal child. So I'm going to politically answer my favorite child.
Yeah.
It's Frosty.
Okay. All right. The correct answer is pretty sure.
Yeah.
I love Ravenking though, man. He's the one I know the best, I think, out of all of them. I know Frosty a little bit, and I've had 3 conversations with Super Dan, and
He's an aloof man.
I think I've scared him twice.
He makes me laugh.
Super Dan?
Yeah, Dan is great company.
I've heard only good things about him, so I can imagine.
Look at these two goofballs. These two are buds. These two are buddies.
Yeah.
And I think Ravenking just puts a target on his back, being out of the 3 rank-wise this season will be above these two. So they actually both got wins on him tonight.
Yeah, they did.
That's a good way to start the season for